Don't forget to like and subscribe!
Hyman took a peek through the window earlier and his house was packed with flowers. Looks like this exhibition is gonna be huge!
Do all perfumers have houses filled with flowers? No, only the rich ones.
No, that's a florist thing.
Yeah, that could only rent out hotel rooms, right?
We work closely with the essential oils of various plants. But to maintain a sharp sense of smell, most perfumers prefer to keep their homes free of strong odors.
That makes sense, so they're not, like, blinded to it.
Oh! Guess there's just too much to store for the exhibition then.
What's behind this door?
Oh, this room seems to be a connected suite, and my brother will be staying on the other side of the suite. Blaze, while you're out, why don't you bring our luggage over as well? Blaze!
Yes, of course.
He was thinking of something.
All right, then. Where can we find your luggage, mademoiselle? Blaze will go fetch it for you.
It's still at the port. In addition to some daily necessities, there's also a case of amber wine that I brought back from Fontaine. Could I trouble you to bring that back as well? It would be the perfect way to repay you for your hospitality.
How generous.
Wine
I
is
should thank
always
you
good.
on my brother's behalf. You stumbled upon his weakness. He's aloof about most things, but alcohol is his one true love.
Alcoholic. Love
Is
it.
that so?
Amber wine. Now that's a Fontaine specialty I've never heard of before.
Mr. Ood, Mr. Blaze, thanks for...
Hey! What are you doing?
That's Master's voice.
Yeah, he's getting messed up. Quick, let's see what's going on. Yeah, he's getting messed up. As you rush out of the hotel, you detect
Edgar!
a unique fragrance.
Master!
Hey, Edgar! Are you alright? Can you hear me?
Who did this?
Kyria. August.
Is he dead?
Kyria.
Hey, Edgar? Edgar!
No, don't shake him. He's injured. Just leave him to me. You two can...
We'll investigate the scene. We'll try to see where the culprit went.
Oh, thank you. Skin is flushed, pupils are dilated, but he's still breathing.
Okay, that's good. So he's not dead yet.
That strange smell around here. Is it coming from this bottle?
Only a small amount of liquid is left inside the bottle, and strings of residue can be seen on both the mouth and the sides of the vessel. It seems like someone forcibly poured out whatever was inside. How do you forcibly pour something? I have a feeling this liquid bottle is
Really? You think so?
probably the only thing that makes sense.
Do you think whoever did this was hiding in the flowers before they attacked Edgar?
There are no footprints in the flower beds, and it doesn't look like any of the branches or leaves have been disturbed. Unless the culprit was your size, it would be pretty difficult. Okay.
I checked. It doesn't look like anyone passed through here.
Oh, but that's impossible. It's not like that kid can just grow some wings and fly away.
That kid?
Oh, the culprit, I mean. It's not like the culprit could have just disappeared into thin air.
So we're dealing with like a younger person?
Well, we looked all over, but the only clue we found was that bottle.
The most important thing we can do now is focus our efforts on treating Master. Can you help me move him inside?
Absolutely.
So, how's he doing?
When I administered emergency treatment, I discovered a residue in his nose and mouth. Master was most likely forced to ingest a certain liquid. He's still unconscious, and inducing vomiting could obstruct his airways. We'll have to look into other clues for now.
We found this bottle just now,
Yes.
so
The scent is the same, but the chemical composition is still unclear. We'll have to do further tests to determine if it's the same liquid and how toxic it is to the human body. But first, I do believe there are two people who could shed some light on the situation.
yeah,
Mr.
there.
Sylvain, Mr. Lucien.
Wait, you know...
Oh, who are these guys?
Were you talking to us, mademoiselle? I'm afraid we'd never heard of those names before.
Before arriving in Sumeru, I asked a friend from the Special Patrol to look into the creators of Auguste.
Friend of a special patrol, was that frickin' Chevy?
There were 4 people in total. The perfumer, Edgar, the one thrust into the limelight, and 3 others. A researcher from Sumeru responsible for cultivating the Auguste flower, and 2 merchant brothers responsible for promoting the product on the market. The 2 brothers capitalized on the mythos surrounding Auguste. Their actions lured in numerous speculators and profiteers, inflating the price of Auguste even further. In the end, they were sent to the Fortress of Meripede for falsifying their accounts
Oh,
and
damn.
destabilizing the market. If you do the math, they should be out of prison by now.
I see.
And what does that have to do with us? There are countless merchant families in Fontaine. You gonna accuse them of being criminals too?
Every time your brother called you Blaze, it took you several seconds to respond. But when I called you Lucien just now, the name registered immediately.
Ah, Miss Emily, out of respect for your position as a famous perfumer in Fontaine, I'm inclined to believe that was simply a poor attempt at humor.
Wow, they are really not budging.
You have a bright future ahead of you. You wouldn't want to develop a reputation as someone who throws around false accusations, especially among merchant circles.
You claim to be regular perfume merchants, and yet, when I brought up amber wine, you took it to be alcohol.
What?
Just as I thought.
Amber wine is a perfume I created several years ago.
Oh, gotcha.
It wasn't particularly renowned, but I'm certain any respectable perfume merchant in Fontaine would know of it. Unless, until recently, they were living somewhere completely cut off from the perfume world. Somewhere like the Fortress of Meripede, perhaps?
Emily, you little...
Don't even think about it. Yeah, let's not. Oh, we got a dull blade. Oh my goodness.
Don't misunderstand, Mr. Sylvain. I don't bring this up to criticize you. No matter what happened all those years ago, the court has already passed its judgment.
Yeah, Novelet already did his job, okay?
But Master's life is in danger. We need to learn whatever we can about the person who has done this. If Master's attack had something to do with Auguste, I would imagine the 2 of you might also be in danger. So I'd like to trouble you for some information, if I may. Tell me about Kyria.
Fine, as you wish.
There you go. We're on the same side, alright?
Sylvain!
Lucien, if this will help us find Kyria, then it will be all worth it. Besides, we've already told most of the stuff to the Maison Orderly anyway. You were right, Miss Emily. There were 4 of us at the beginning. Myself, Lucien, Edgar, and the researcher from Sumeru in charge of flower cultivation, Vijava. Sometime down the road, the Marechaussee Phantom came knocking, saddled us with a list of accusations, and started looking into our books. Oh, they did their meddling, and my brother Edgar and I were forced to serve time in the fortress as a result.
I see.
Sounds like he's still upset about that. Wait, then how did Edgar end up in Sumeru?
Master was convicted as an accomplice, so he only had to serve a few years. He decided to move to Sumeru so that he could put those events behind him.
That makes sense on why he's... Gotcha.
Still, Master was depressed for a long time after that. He stopped making new perfumes and focused on introducing students to the craft instead. That's how I met him. My parents had to relocate to Sumeru for work when I was a child, so I had the chance to study under him for a little while. But we can talk about that some other time. I want to hear more about this researcher, Vijava.
Like us, Vijava was also staring down an investigation from the Marechaussee Phantom. But before the Phantom showed up at her door, she set all the flower beds on fire, along with much of the mora we managed to earn. All the Auguste flowers, everything we worked to create, was reduced to nothing but a pile of ash.
She set all the flower beds on fire along with a bunch of mora. You can set mora on fire? I thought it was just like metal.
But
Interesting,
destroying
okay.
all that evidence, wouldn't that make things worse for her?
Yeah, because destroying evidence creates evidence. Right, it's a pain in the ass.
It didn't matter at that point, because she died in the fire as well.
Oh, never mind.
What?
Sounds like you did an investigation of your own. Why even ask us if you knew all of this already?
So far, Kirya's name still hasn't shown up,
The
yeah.
name wasn't mentioned in any of the files I reviewed either. But you two seem quite familiar with him.
Kiria was Vijava's younger brother.
I
He
see.
was just a clueless kid back then. Somewhere in his teens, I think. He helped his sister with her work sometimes, but that was pretty much it. He didn't have any idea what we were doing. Vijava kept him close most of the time. The three of us were probably the only ones who even knew she had a brother. After our operation was compromised, he disappeared. There were no signs of him until recently, when people started saying the Auguste flower had reappeared in Sumeru.
Gotcha. So they think that the younger brother started his own like perfume business.
So you think Kiria took something with him back then? Something that allowed him to reproduce the Auguste flower?
Right.
Vijava doted on the kid like you wouldn't believe. She even told us to give her cut to her brother if anything happened to her. If she left something behind before she died, believe me, Kiria's the one that has it.
And judging by the liquid in that bottle, the Auguste flower wasn't the only thing he reproduced. He managed to replicate the perfume itself.
Gotcha.
So the liquid Edgar was forced to ingest really was Auguste. Wait, does that mean Auguste is poison?
I mean, a lot of, well, I think anyway, perfumes are not poisonous, but like dangerous if ingested. That's why it's only for external use.
Poison? No. Of course not. No perfume is meant to be ingested.
Right.
Even small amounts can be dangerous, let alone ingesting a whole bottle at once.
Yeah, so I kind of what I just said. Got
If
it.
Auguste could be considered a poison, we wouldn't have even sold half a bottle back then. Edgar fell unconscious because Kiria forced him to drink perfume. It just happened to be Auguste.
Strange. Sylvian seems nervous all of a sudden. Why did Kiria attack Edgar?
He probably thought we had something to do with his sister's death. But to tell you the truth, I have no idea why she did all that. We're not looking for Kiria because we have it out for him. We just wanted to see how he was doing. And, if possible, work together to bring back Auguste.
Yeah, I don't think you want to see how he's doing. Something's amiss.
We only went to prison for a bit of fraud and market manipulation. It had nothing to do with the product itself. As long as we keep things honest this time around, bringing the product back to market would almost be like honoring his sister's memory.
So that's why you never mentioned Kiria during your interrogation?
I guess.
Yes, exactly. We were just looking out for the kid.
Anyway, that's all we know. If you're looking for information on what's in Auguste, or what to do if you ingest it, there are only two people to ask. Edgar or Kiria himself.
Well, At least we're able to say for certain that the substance Edgar ingested was in fact a goose. That gives us a direction for further testing. Well then, I'd say that was a very enlightening discussion.
Well, glad to hear it. Lucian, let's head back to the room and rest a bit. With everything that's happened, there are things that need reconsidering.
I bet.
Yes, of course.
I bet. They're still hiding something. Yeah, they are.
Huh, you think so too? That does seem to be the case. Pity we don't have more evidence. But based on Sylvain's tone of voice just now, I suspect further questioning will only result in more made-up answers.
Yeah, we don't even know how much made-up answers he gave us as is.
The way you exposed them like that, just based on a hunch, that was genius!
Are you really just a perfumer who looks after people in your spare time?
Oh, right! Earlier you said you were only sort of a doctor, and that your patients were unusual.
Oh yes, that's because most of the patients I encounter are already dead.
Okay, great. Just casually drop that. We know because of the live stream, but geez, I didn't think she was gonna be so casual about it in game.
So you're a forensic doctor?
Close. I'm actually a forensic cleaner. Once the forensic team and the Marachese Phantom are done collecting evidence from the scene, I'm in charge of clearing away the final traces my patients leave on the world. In fact, with just a small alteration to the formula, the same tincture used as the base of perfume can also be made into a cleaning agent.
Oh, I don't know if that's a fact in real life, but that would be
Basically,
interesting
there
if
are
it
two
is.
sides to forensics. Those who collect evidence to expose the truth, and those who clean up the smells, bloodstains, and other substances left behind at the scene. I've learned a lot in my line of work, and I've witnessed a lot of death. But this time, we may still save the patient. Actually, Traveler, could I trouble you to report back to Tainari and the officers at Port Ormos? We should update them on the situation. I'll stay here and
Sure.
continue to look after Master. Now that we have a sample of Auguste, I'm hoping further analysis won't be too difficult.
Alright, what do you gotta say for yourself?
Master looks a lot older than when I last saw him. I just hope he can hold on.
I'm sure he'll be just fine. Alright, let's head to Tainari, yeah?
Whoa, why the rush? Did something happen?
Yes, a lot, actually. You explain everything, ...
What? Edgar was attacked. He's the most famous perfumer in the region. Someone who's helped countless people around Port Ormos. How could this happen?
Sheriff, have you received any reports of a suspicious individual fleeing through the bazaar?
No, but we've got eyes all over the area. I'm sure someone's seen Kiria. I'll start gathering my forces. We won't let him get away.
What about you, Tainari? Do you have a plan?
I'm assuming he does.
I'm sure the sheriff can handle things over at the scene, and I doubt Emilie needs my help looking after Mr. Edgar.
But she said she's not a real doctor.
Yeah, not really, yeah.
Then she was far too modest. She may not be a doctor by trade, but she has a deeper understanding of human anatomy and pharmacology than most scholars from the Amorta Darshan.
Oh,
Not to
wow,
mention
okay.
the fact that Mr. Edgar's condition is related to perfume. Emilie is certainly in the best position to help him. As for me, I'll head to the academia and see what I can learn about Vijava and Kiria.
Oh, that's right! Vijava was supposed to be a scholar from Sumeru. Do you recognize the name?
From Emilie's letter, certainly, but that was the first time I'd heard of it. The academia produces a lot of scholars, and there are plenty of graduates who choose to pursue a career outside their darshan. I didn't have time to look into it earlier, but now it seems like Vijava's past could be critical to getting to the bottom of what happened to Mr. Edgar. I
Yeah.
have friends in Sumeru City that can help me investigate.
Oh, I
With
bet.
any luck, we'll have news to share by tomorrow.
Was it Sino too,
I'll
right?
leave you and Emilie to watch over things here in Port Ormos.
So what, we're just gonna wait until he, like, comes up with something? Wait until the next day? You... Alright, fine.
Emily!
How's Edgar? Is he doing any better?
No longer in critical condition, thankfully. He's still very weak, but with a bit more rest, he should regain consciousness soon. My chemical analysis of Auguste also went smoothly, although it certainly raised some questions.
Oh, I bet.
I was able to identify the components that give the substance its fragrance, but I also noticed an abnormal trace of elemental energy in the sample.
That's weird.
Elemental energy?
Would that have an effect on the body?
Hard to say. It was such a minute amount, proportionally speaking, like mixing a single drop of perfume into the ocean. I had to use one of the newest tests developed in recent years to even detect the traces present in the sample. Unless you were abnormally sensitive to elemental energy, I doubt it would have any effect, even if you use the product every day for 10 years. As for whether Master's condition was caused by the elemental energy present in the sample or some other component of the perfume, it's still too early to say.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. Did Tainari come and find you? Maybe we could ask him to take a look.
I received a message from him last night, but I haven't heard anything since. The message said he was looking into some information at the academia.
So nothing much
Thought he
yet.
might have stopped by to see you first. Excuse me? Is Miss Emily here?
Oh, Kale, what's up?
Oh, perfect! Familiar faces! Traveler, Paimon, you're here too!
Yeah, so she doesn't have a minor anxiety attack. That's funny.
Kale. Ah, of course. Tainari's apprentice. He's mentioned you many times. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. And please, no need for formalities. Emily is just fine.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too, Miss, Emily. Did Tainari send you here, Kale? Yep. Master and the others went through decades worth of records last night, and still haven't had a
Jesus.
chance to rest. I'm fast on my feet, so it only made sense for me to come and give you an update.
Decades worth of records in one night. How many people did he recruit?
Anyway, based on what they've reviewed so far, they believe there's no indication that a researcher by the name of Vijava ever passed through the academia.
Could have been an alias.
Master considered that possibility as well, but the name wasn't the only dead end. Master tried to track down people with a similar research direction or background, but also couldn't find a match. How is that possible?
What the? Maybe her identity as a researcher from Sumeru was a ruse all along, I guess? That's the only thing that would make sense. Or she covered it up somehow.
It's starting to seem very likely. If we want to figure out her true identity, I'm afraid another conversation with those two merchants might be our only...
Yeah, if they're still around.
Hey,
Oh, they are. Okay, never mind.
Lucian!
That voice, it's...
It's Sylvain! Wait, you don't think Kirio came back, do you?
That seems impossible. If someone came in or out of the hotel just now, we would have seen them.
Let's go inside and check. Alright. Let's see what they're... Oh. I guess it doesn't really matter. You rush into the hallway and head to
It's
Sylvian's
locked.
room. I'll try to break it open. Jeez. The door gives way with a bang and you enter the room.
There's no one here.
Oh, wait, what?
Lucian! Lucian!
That's Sylvain's voice!
Lucian! Lucian! Come on! Wake up!
Is he going to be okay?
Emily, Emily, my brother, he's gonna be okay, right? He's just unconscious. Like what happened to Edgar?
I'm sorry, Mr. Sylvain.
Oh my god!
We were too late this time.
Look at Hoyoverse. Killing off an NPC. It's about time. Well, I guess it's not their first time. True, ignore what I just said. But still, they need to do that more often.
Oh, no, that's not possible.
Traveler, Kale, Mr. Sylvain has gone through a huge shock.
Yeah, his bro just died.
He needs some space to calm down. Could one of you take him next door? It's not good for him to look at his brother's body like this.
Of course. Leave it to me.
I'll notify the sheriff.
Thank you both. Mr. Sylvain, let's get you up. Here, take my hand. We'll take things from here. Just focus on getting some rest. Here, this way.
I bet he's gonna be more cooperative now. No more lies.
Poor guy. He's like a shell of his former self. He may have made some bad decisions in life, but right now, Paimon can't help but feel sorry for him.
Good person or bad, the death of a loved one is equally painful.
Right.
All the moments he shared with his brother, every hardship and triumph they endured together, are now memories he has to carry alone.
Maybe that's what Kiria wanted.
If Kiria really was behind this, then what exactly did he do to Lucien?
Lucien can no longer speak, but the traces left behind by his death most certainly can.
Yeah, this is where Emily's gonna
Traveler,
shine,
I've
right?
got things covered here at the scene. I'll leave you to contact the sheriff.
Some time passes and Sheriff rushes
Who would
in.
have thought? Yesterday's case is still up in the air, and now this happens. Miss Emily, I heard you're an experienced forensic doctor. Have you been able to discover anything?
Oh, I'm not actually a forensic doctor. I just happen to have some relevant knowledge.
Wait, what?
I did take a look, though. Judging by the temperature and rigidity of the body, it appears the time of death was sometime last night. I'd have to do a more thorough investigation to find out more.
Then, would you mind helping us investigate? Before he left, Tainari said we could trust your judgment if something like this were to happen.
Of course, I appreciate your trust. Many of the traces left behind at the scene will fade with time, so the sooner we investigate, the better.
We'll help too. We don't know much about dead bodies, but
Nope.
you can leave the other clues to us.
We can help with everything else. And we'll do all that in the next episode. Yeah, it's getting a bit interesting. Wonder where it's gonna go, really, since they just keep offing people. Well, not off. Well, I say that, but Edgar's still alive. Anyway, we'll see in the next episode. Until then, later.